Elligo Health Research is in the clinical health research field. What we do is help hospitals, doctors, drug companies reach out and find the patients they need to run through their trials. And we help facilitate through a website that we can do treatments, diagnostics, tracking, auditing, and help get their treatments and medications off the ground. We focus primarily on the SaaS services, so SharePoint, Teams, Office 365, we got Mail, OneDrive, and Salesforce. So those are two of our huge platforms that we use almost every day. They're one of our critical, legs for our infrastructure. I like to correlate, backups with having, car insurance. Nobody likes to have to pay the rate every month. You might be a great driver and typically nothing goes wrong, but the day that you get into a car accident, you can't buy car insurance after the fact. You have to have had it in place before. So for on-premise backups, you have to manage all this hardware. So you have to manage a tape library. You have to manage a server. You have to manage the power requirements in that location. You have to manage the data center contracts itself. You have to manage with contractors need to come in, swap drives out. There's a huge laborious process to have to maintain all that stuff yourself. With SaaS, again, a lot of companies make the mistake of thinking, oh, if it's SaaS, I can just skip the backups and we can move on with life. But with SaaS, you have all that software configuration and you now get to set aside all the hardware needs. You don't need to think about it. It's not a factor in it. And when you remove all the hardware from it, backup policies are actually not that complicated. They're pretty easy to implement. They're pretty easy to understand. And so having a really simple dashboard to be able to deploy those things and not have to hassle with failing hard drives or refreshing hardware is a huge boon for me because I no longer have to manage all those things on top of our live running data, which is already complex enough. I need a company that is cloud native. I want somebody who's agile. I want someone who's more focused on the cloud than they are on-prem because I've worked for companies like Veritas and Symantec who do real old school backup solutions, and I don't need that. It's way more complex than it needs to be. So my reseller tapped me into Druva. We did the conference call, we discussed it, but my favorite part was after we discussed it, we did a live demo, we looked at how it worked, we signed a contract within a week, and then the day of my implementation call, an hour beforehand, I had finished the implementation, and we spent most of the implementation call just discussing features on Druva and little things here and there. What I love most about Druva is it's a turnkey solution, and that gets thrown around a lot, but it's true because I've done it a couple of times. You can install it, you can set it up, the connector's there, your data's flowing, happens within a few days. There's very few solutions in any space in technology that work that quickly and easily. And I love the ability to know that my backups are taken care of and that checkbox is checked and I don't have to worry about it again.